Righto guys, welcome back to another tools giveaway, and it is a pearler. Check this out. This full kit will be mailed out to you. It is open to all subscribers of Grumpy's Garage. All you got to be is a subscriber. I will be adding to this toolkit as well, and I will be giving it away the 1st of November. So hopefully we can add heaps more to it. So get on board, subscribe. Well, Saturday morning, and it is bloody freezing. Not a good time to be out in the shed, especially when I don't have a heater. So I'm going to go down and sort a heater out because I need a heater. But I'm at this stage so far with the Bodywork. So everywhere there was lead, because I can't do lead, I've put a skimmer fiberglass in to build it up, and then a tiny bit of bog over that. So that's a little bit low there. That's come up really well. And the other main one was this one on the dog leg. So it's up enough. I'm going to knock it down a little bit more, and then that'll have a skimmer bog over the top. The bottom, now I've got to bend down, the bottom quarter panel, it's got the fiberglass in there as well. Now I use the fiberglass, so if there's any pinholes in here whatsoever, the fiberglass will fill it up and nothing will get through there again. So that's pretty much ready for a skimmer bog now. A little bit high here, but that's what we're up to. Haven't done anything with this one because it's very, very close anyway. Haven't done anything with this one, very, very close anyway. Let's just get let's get these finished off and put some epoxy on it so I can seal everything up. Then I can do my bog work. So just hitting this with a bit of epoxy so I can let it set for a couple of days and then put a little bit of bog work on the epoxy. Old days of putting bog on bare metal is over. It's always best to put it on epoxy. Well, getting very, very close now. I have got undercoat on that quarter, well, epoxy, ready to finish off this bodywork. Now I did notice just in here there's a little dent. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Couple of little ones here which I'll probably address, might as well. But am I happy? Yeah, you bet your ass I'm happy. So while I'm waiting for that to dry off, I'll just pull the steering box out, pull the rest of the steering out because all that needs to be repaired. But this steering box was rebuilt. It is leaking at the top, so I'll send it back so that they can fix that leak. Okay, I've been over this with the DuraPad. You can just see a couple tiny little low spots across the top there. Now, I reckon I could sand that out, but I don't want to touch these edges. So I'll keep going just a little bit more, but you can't even feel them. It's only that the DuraBlock brought them out. Now, I do have that one there. You can see that. I'll tap that out a little bit more. Now I'm doing this mainly. This one there, that's got to come out. That's a little bit high just here, you can see. But anyway, I think I'm doing it right. So I was going to knock that down a little bit more, find all these low spots, high spots, tap them around before I do any putty. So give me another half hour and I'll do a bit of rubbing. You don't want to watch that. And put a skim over everything and have a look. Okay, so you all know that this is not a how-to-do video channel. This is a what Grumpy Garage does. So I'm just running through this, and these Duro pads that I have are fantastic. I fully recommend you guys go and buy a set of those. They're not that expensive and they're easy to work with. Now this section here, you can just start to see a little bit of the metal starting to show. It comes back and bites me on the arse later. Well, check that out. That looks to be low because I've just gone through, but you can't even feel it. So when that gets the other coat of undercoat on it, it should be fine. All these ones come up beautiful. This one, just a tiny little bit in the corner. This one I nearly got with one go. The lower quarter, it's come up bloody beautiful. Just needs a tiny little bit down the bottom there. You can see where it's low. And a tiny bit through here. Bugger all. This one here, that's nearly through to absolutely nothing on there. And that's really nice. So just take my time. I'll probably spend another day tomorrow just tinkering in the shed and giving that a bit more of a sand, get it down a little bit more, put one more coat on it, and it should be primo. Good job, good job. Anyway, I fixed it off camera and I've shortened this as much as I can because I don't want to bore you guys to death. Don't forget to subscribe and enter the tools. Anyway, another coat and then hit it with the DuraPad again. Maybe I'm being too perfect. Righto guys, that is all sanded back. Ready to go. It's as good as I'm going to get it. So it will do. See what it comes up like. Righto, so I've just Scotch brighted that red oxide primer. I'm trying to leave some scratches in this. Hopefully they'll come through the paintwork to patina that a little bit. But I don't want it to look too good because it just won't match the rest of the car, and I'm not painting the rest of the car. But it should patina up quite nice, I reckon. Well, as a professional painter that I'm not, before I'd even finished the first coat on this, I noticed that the colours were wrong. So I had to go down. I got some more blue tinters and I got some black tinters, and I reckon I painted that quarter panel 2 or 3 times, which made it very hard for me to rub back and patina and get the exact result that I wanted. And it still didn't turn out the same colour as the rest of the car, but it will do. Righto, so before I put some satin clear over the top of this, let's patina that quarter panel, and then I can start whacking everything back together again. So this was meant to be an easy job, just take a little bit of the paint off, patina it, but because there were so many layers, I couldn't do it with the red Scotch Brite. I had to go to the 240 grit sandpaper, and it still took quite a while to get through. Then once the red started showing, then I used the Scotch Brite. On there, I tell you what, that's not too bad. It's slightly lighter than it should be, but that has patinaed across the top, a little bit down the blinker. Look, you can still tell that this quarter panel is perfect compared to the rest of the car. I mean, I would have loved to have got this style of effect, but good enough. What do you do? I mean, I could rub that down a bit more, but how far do you go? I mean, as it is, as it sits now, I'm happy with it. So that will do me. Look, the side window wasn't that hard to do, guys, so don't stress if you guys are about to tackle it. But do make sure you get the rubber on the right way, because if you put it on the wrong way, inside out, whatever, it won't fit right and you will be doing it again. So, and you will need a hand to do it. So you need somebody to push down on it. And I managed to get one of the hairy asses off their computer and come outside and give me a hand. Thank you very much, young Justin. Now these gutter trims, just be gentle when you put them on, guys, because you will dent them and you will bend them quite easily, so take your time. Now Big Kev came over and gave me a hand to do the tailgate, and as you can see, Gabby, the shop inspector, was there making sure we did the right thing. Now these tailgates are pretty easy to do, but you will need two people because they are heavy. And by the way, Gabby isn't passing us tools, she's actually taking our tools when we put them down. Now this tailgate has got a tiny bit of rust in it, but it is in magnificent condition considering. Very repairable tailgate. Cannot buy a new skin for it where that four-wheel drive just copped it on the edge, but I reckon that adds to the patina anyway, and the next owners, who or when, they can have it and fix it then. Now these torsion bars, guys, if you're trying to do one, get a mate to give you a hand, and you can only do it with the bumper bar off. Don't even try doing them with the bumper bar on. Are you trying to be a help? Oh, you're not silly, are you? Got to put the nut on first. I think I was taking the nut off. Well, Gabby is a good help around the shed, and if you have an open drum of oil or anything like that, she'll help you find it because she will tip it over. So whilst I'm fixing the steering column, I'll fix the rest of the steering, and then she's all ready to go. Getting excited and getting very close now. The power steering couplings are different to the non-power steering. So I've taken that coupling off. As you can see, it's got a little flat spot and only 1/3 of it has actually got a spline in it. So don't ever throw the whole thing out. Keep it. So this is the damaged bar and the damaged bracket. So let's get it off and see if I can fix it. Well, I don't think that bracket's going to work. So if you have a look dead straight down there, how that bracket sits, and you look dead straight out by a mile, I think. So guys, that's the end of the HZ build. Thanks for watching. Now the HZ will be coming up for sale in the future, so keep an eye out for that. Not sure whether it's going to have the 253, the original matching number one, back in it, but that can be the choice of the next owner. There's a couple of things I still need to do to it before I can put it up for sale. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free to enter. Sad to see the old girl go, but the next build is shiny shiny, and shiny shiny means money money, and it's going to be a little bit epic. So I'll put a couple of pictures up, try and guess which one it's going to be. But anyway, thank you all for supporting the HZ series on Grumpy's Garage, and the next one's epic.